In this video, we're going to be talking about these things. You probably remember them from high school. They're called books. But now, thanks to artificial intelligence, did you know that each one can be customized to your needs? That's my ultimate Hitchhikers to the Galaxy book. Yeah, you'd actually be surprised on this bookshelf behind me how many of the books are fake. Okay, when I say that I read books, what I actually mean is I listen to audiobooks all the time. And in fact, that bookshelf behind me is almost entirely books that I originally listened to, and then when I actually wanted to build a bookshelf for the background of the studio, and then went on Amazon, purchased all the books, and put them up on the shelf. And the craziest thing was when I actually started putting them on the shelf, I started grouping them. Actually, I'm just gonna take this. We're gonna go bad audio for a minute. Just because this video is going to be all about using AI to generate your own books and your own audiobooks, I wanted to show you my bookshelf a little closer. So what ended up happening was that this section of books became like all my systems thinking. This was all my evolutionary history. This was like genetics and microbiome and health and business and finance and all of those different topics. But what I realized was that these books actually signified eras in my life. They were moments when I would get passionate about a certain topic for 4 or 5 months. And I would just digest like 5 or 6 books, and then somehow some new topic would really interest me, and then I would end up digesting a bunch more books. These are my favorite artificial intelligence books, by the way. Okay, let's just put that back there. So this bookshelf behind me really represents real knowledge that I've loved. These are not just fake books. This is actually really meaningful to me. But years ago when I started getting obsessed with nonfiction audiobooks, artificial intelligence was not at the point where it is now. And even though it's still not perfect, today is a different world. A world where you can create an entire book to yourself. A book full of custom metaphors for learning, whimsical fictional stories that involve you and your friends, and books that revolve around topics that are both personally interesting to you and actually things that are happening in your life. I mean, if you want, or whatever you can imagine, any kind of little story that you have in your head that's short, you can use AI to expand it, to enrich it, and then to tell it to you. And personally, I'm actively trying to make sure that long form content is the main thing that I consume in my free time. Basically, I just think there's something special about long form books and long form audio. And for a while now, I've been waiting for some kind of a product to just put together the power of a large language model with a very sophisticated back-end prompting system to make the stories pop to life, with one of the great text-to-speech tools that we're hearing all the time sound more and more realistic. And in this video, I'm grateful to both have found a tool that's actually doing this exact thing and to have them sponsor this video. So let's discover the future of personalized books together.
Oh, you know what? I actually have a dinosaur shirt with a bunch of books on it. Should I switch to that? That would be more funny than... I was thinking audiobook. That's why I went with the music robot.
Okay, just 1 second. I'm gonna do a quick t-shirt switch. Okay, I got it. You guys like that one a little bit better? See the dinosaur, just like, I don't know, makes more sense. Sign up time. So, try it out now. Choose your book to create. So we're gonna choose our book to create. Now, I wanna do a personalized nonfiction book. That's just my thing. But with fitness and training, with that changing all the time and techniques always evolving, I think that would be really interesting for some people. I've heard self-help books are like the most popular genre in the world. So like, obviously a lot of personal self-help stuff would be powerful. Cookbooks, real estate books, personal weight loss books, personalized travel books, nonfiction books, fitness books, personalized travel. That seems like that would be really interesting for an artificial intelligence. Imagine like how many things are on Wikipedia that don't actually exist in a book, but they're interesting parts of the world. You know, marketing, entrepreneurship, real estate, and cookbooks coming soon. I'm gonna go with personalized nonfiction book. So imagine diving into a book that's tailor-made for you. I can imagine it. Taking into account your unique interests. Epigenetics, anybody? That's like my newest kick. Epigenetics is like crazy. And the virome, have you guys heard of that word? It's coming soon. And even your favorite decade. That will be the next decade, probably. But then the one after that might be the end of the world. So it's kind of a weird juxtaposed kind of thing. All right, so we're gonna go down here and read the terms and conditions very carefully. Sounds good to me. And click agree. Enter the name of the reader of this book. Got it. Dylan Curious. Epigenetics. So this is what the book will specifically be about. You can leave it blank if you wish. So a specific focus. Maybe something like this article, Understanding Epigenetics, How Trauma is Passed On Through Our Family Members. I know, we're not gonna go into epigenetics in this, but like I'm gonna do a video on it, don't worry. It's crazy and it's real. Okay, so we'll try to make the focus how trauma is passed on through epigenetics. Okay, the goal of the book? To understand what epigenetics is, how it works, and how it will affect my life. I am a YouTuber who has some stress. What are some things that you want to include in the book? I want the book to only use simple language for the most part. I want some examples of how epigenetics have affected people's personalities. I feel like I'm asking a lot of this thing. We'll see how this goes. All right, next. Nah, nothing for me, but I guess if it's like a kid's book, you could say adult language or content personalization. So is there any way we can personalize the content of the book for you? Let us know how. Oh, maybe I should have put this in the other box. Customize the knowledge and examples for somebody who makes YouTube videos for a living. Okay, preferences, personalization. So the following questions are not specifically related to the book's content, but they're used in how the book is written, okay? Oh, cool, so the different tone of the book we can choose? Sarcastic? Do you think I should do that? That would be so weird. Narrative, I can tell stories, first, second, or third perspective. Maybe descriptive or maybe informal, persuasive. No, I'm gonna just go, I just want generally informal, I think. There's even more. Romantic, gothic, sci-fi, epic, journalistic. Oh my gosh. Fairy tale, magic realism. Ooh, that's interesting. Combines realistic narratives with surreal elements of dream or fantasy. Could you learn about epigenetics that way, or would it be too story driven? Can you make maybe you could like make an adventure or a drama out of something like this, and you could learn it in a totally unique way. I want to experiment with that, but just so I actually get something that feels like I'm going to learn at first, I think I'm going to start with informal.
Casual conversational tone is what I'm looking for.
Okay, so choose some interests and hobbies that apply. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's got some examples and it'll be like, imagine you're, dancing or running and then blah, blah, blah. And you learn about your epigenetics that way. So I like to read in my free time. I go to the gym. I don't sew. I don't birdwatch. I guess I'll say blogging, and it's like making YouTube videos. God, I need to do more stuff. I don't shop, rock climb, do archery. My girlfriend's a magician, but not me. Do a little cosplay on the side. Oh, I like basketball. I love snowboarding. I grew up in the mountains of Park City in Utah. It's beautiful up there. Beekeeping, I'm gonna do it. Even though I don't keep bees, I love bees. So I'm just gonna put it in there. I would love it if it's like you as a beekeeper, blah, blah, blah. All right, next. Ooh, favorite decade? Something in the future. I guess I'll go with the 2010s, like the rise of the connected world, sort of. I'm sick of the 2020s. I don't need any more of that, that word. Okay, so learning styles, I'm gonna go probably with story-based learning. That's my favorite. But I could see how examples, analogies? Can I pick two? Oh, I can, yeah. So I'll go with analogies and stories. What else? My name is Dylan Curious. I like dinosaurs and avocados. Next. All right, generating some possible titles for the book. Epigenetics, from dinosaurs to today. I don't know, we'll see what it says. Looks like a spinning fingerprint. You think maybe it's like the pages of a book from the side? Like imagine that, like a bunch of pages kind of like swirled together. I don't know. Okay, epigenetics uncovered. Dylan Curious explores the trauma transmission. Oh gosh, I didn't know I was gonna get into this. The epigenetic trauma transfer, an in-depth study for Dylan Curious. Oh no, it's all just like my name and trauma. How trauma touches generations for Dylan Curious? Your life, your trauma, your epigenetics, a guide for Dylan Curious? Unearthing Epigenetics, a YouTuber's guide to handling stress and trauma. Okay, let's go with this one. Every other one literally has my name in it and the word trauma. I just don't need that on my bookshelf. I forgot that we put that in at the very beginning. It didn't click until I saw these titles. Oh, so now we're gonna generate a table of contents. This is interesting because when you actually generate something with GPT, if you ask for an outline first and tweak the outline before generating more text, it's a really effective way to get a better result. So maybe something like that's happening in the background. Okay, so it starts with what is epigenetics, the building blocks of life, DNA, epigenetic mechanisms, putting the puzzle together. Okay, this seems pretty good. And then it goes right into the inheritance of trauma, which I asked for. Nurture versus nature, a paradigm shift. That is true. That's actually what it's all about. The dance of genes in the environment. Yeah, this looks really good. The epigenetics of stress, epigenetics in action, your epigenetics journey. Oh, here we go. Chapter 9, epigenetics and YouTubing. This has to be the only book in the world that has ever made that a chapter. Stress in the fast lane, epigenetics in the spotlight, thriving as a YouTuber, epigenetic strategies. That is the most niche thing I have ever read. Thriving as a YouTuber, epigenetic strategies. Okay, so before the book is generated, you can make changes to the table of content. Okay. I'm actually pretty happy with it though, but just to show you that it's possible, create my personalized book. So I'll give them my email, curiousvideoscontact@gmail.com. By the way, you guys feel free to email me if you ever want to with that. It's like a totally public email. I am not a robot. So I verified my email and here we are at the pricing page. Now, this is a sponsored video, so I would encourage you guys to sign up for it. It seems like an awesome product to me. So you get some samples for free, or it's $20 for the text version, or $30 for the text and audio version. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the whole shebang. Let's see what this is all about. So I just used PayPal and paid the $30. All right, let's go look at my profile. All right, we're back now. So it takes a couple hours to actually generate all of this text and then convert all of that into audio formats. But here it is, we're done. I mean, I couldn't be more happy with the title. Unearthing Epigenetics, a YouTuber's Guide to Handling Stress and Trauma. Absolutely the only book in the world that would ever be titled that, and that's exactly what I wanted to learn about. Like, I doubt there's another YouTuber that's like identifies with you being a YouTuber and then also wants to hear epigenetics explained to them in the way that they live their life. So we have all three major ebook formats: PDF, EPUB, and two different audiobook formats, M4B and MP3. So let's download this PDF here. Oh, I guess I never thought about it, but it's interesting the PDF actually has like cover art, like the front cover of a book. Very cool. So now we have our chapter markers. Okay, so our table of contents looks good, just like we approved before. Welcome, Dylan Curious, to the fascinating world of epigenetics. Thank you. Let's take a moment to imagine yourself as a dinosaur roaming the vast plains of knowledge. Yes, please. With avocados as the nourishing fuel that keeps your curiosity alive. Is there any other? That's awesome. Just like an intro like that does make you more excited to hear a story like this. I mean, imagine a textbook, like a knowledge nonfiction, something you can learn from textbook with that kind of customization. Let's say you're a YouTuber who's experienced a significant amount of stress in your life. Well, that stress can cause changes in the chemical tags on your DNA, which may lead to alterations in gene expression. Just like a dinosaur fossil preserves information about the ancient creatures that once roamed the earth, our DNA carries the information about the lives and experiences of our ancestors. Whoa. Dear Dylan Curious, in the previous section we discussed how our understanding of nature versus nurture has shifted with the advent of epigenetics. So for me, when it comes to like a long form book and artificial intelligence, I know that some of the limitations are just getting something really long to not forget about what it said a long time ago in the storyline. So is this actually working like building blocks? But I mean, I'm seeing these like in previous chapters we explored, so it's definitely referencing chapters previous. Okay, page 42, page 51, page 63.
How long is this?
Okay, page 82, 83 is where it ends. Let's read this last page. Let's see if we get like some kind of a conclusion, like a wrap up, you know? So Dylan Curious, as you continue your journey as a YouTuber, keep in mind the power of epigenetics. Understand that trauma can be passed down through generations. I know, this is real stuff actually. But also recognize your ability to shape your own epigenetic density. Embrace self-care, find balance in the digital era, and cultivate a positive environment. Oh, look at that, kind of like a personal touch here, you know, wishing you continued success on your YouTube channel and in your exploration of epigenetics. Your epigenetic expert. Listen, I listen to audiobooks all the time. I know human voices. I've got some that I love, some that I don't like as much. When it comes to robotic, you know, text to speech, I know the good stuff. I kind of know the medium stuff. So let's see where this ranks. So I downloaded the MP3 and it comes zipped together in a bundle with a bunch of smaller pieces.
Just like a YouTuber who carefully selects the clips and edits them to create a compelling video, epigenetic mechanisms modify the way our genes are expressed. But epigenetics goes beyond just our genetic makeup. It also considers the influence of our environment.
Yeah, I would say that's in the better quality category. So that's like the upper tiers of what I usually listen to. Okay, let me see if I can hear it at 2x speed. Because, you know, the right voice can be 2x'd.
Just like a YouTuber who carefully selects the clips and edits them to create a compelling video, epigenetic mechanisms modify the way our genes are expressed.
Yeah, I can do it. It's definitely good enough for me to do 2x. So there you go, Pooks.ai. You guys should definitely consider signing up because it's a great way to learn and have everything customized. So Pooks.ai, Pooks.ai. So I'm guessing it's the word personalized and books put together, so I think it's Pooks, you know, like P instead of B and then books. So download your own customized Pook, share a Pook with someone else, grab a Pook for you and your family. And because you can always do other things while you listen to your audiobooks, my next goal is to get to 6,000 subscribers, so do me a favor and smash that subscribe button.